Welcome back. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It's a glorious Thursday morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. Bright and sunny, and actually a bit of well, I think nature going on right now, as I think I have like an allergy. But anyways, good enough for a live stream. Won't be obviously later in the day today, as I do have a few other commitments that I do have to get to today. But tomorrow we will be back to what will be the regular schedule, where we'll do like a kind of a quick wrap up video in the morning, or at least my morning for Eastern European time zone, and then of course. And then one later in the day, which is going to be early in the morning for you on the Eastern Coast if you live in America, and if you are over here in Europe, it'll be like late afternoon, if you will. Anyways, with that said, I do want to wish you the best and the happiest, and bring you on over in here into the Krown Chain application the day after tomorrow. It's one day after the day after tomorrow. Coinbase has been listed, the world hasn't exploded, and what happens now? Of course, we're going to be discussing that. But first things first, let's get into the Krown Chain application over here, which can be found at app.krownchain.net. It's 100% free. The link's in the description below. Take advantage of it, as there are major updates coming in the not so distant future. Anyways, with that said, a few things jumping out right now. Altcoins having quite the day. Bitcoin dominance heading down now to 53%, which does imply that most altcoin Bitcoin parents are rallying to the fucking heavens and beyond. If we go over here to our top 10 coins, top 10 worst coins, you can see the big winners of the last 24 hours. Digibyte, Wasser, I don't know what is this? What's sir? Hello, sir. Doggy coin having a big day as well. Jesus fucking Christ, man. 23.3%, not bad at all. Bitcoin standard hash rate, no idea what the hell this thing is. VeChain, Avalanche, Ravencoin, Stacks, Nexo, Yearn Finance, all having themselves almost double digits and more for a lot of those names right there. Very powerful. On the other side, though, a lot of 2017 shitcoins being absolutely thrusted on right now. We do see Tron, OMG, Stellar, Qtum, and PunDX all getting the wrong end of the shaft right there. Actually, even Theta and OX there too, and symbol BAT. Anyways, into the mark data tab we go. I do want to see what we got going on over here. And, I did forget to mention that the Fear and Greed Index, funnily enough, actually did go up a significant amount from yesterday to today. Now, significant within the context of what we have been seeing over the past month or so, which has mostly been oscillating between like the low 70s and the high 70s. Now we do see it take back up towards around 79, which is rather interesting because Bitcoin has more or less been flat in the last day. We did have, quite the event, but I do imagine that the interpretation of this event is actually what that is kind of being driven off of right now, which obviously we'll be discussing once we get into the actual price action charts. Anyways, on top of that, we do see in the funny rate per exchange over here, we do see that most major exchanges have completely come down. This is actually really good right here. Really healthy. We see all major exchanges except for bullshit FTX. Sorry, we're going to be getting rid of this. It's coming in the next update. You'll actually just be able to take it off yourself. But we do see all of the major exchanges well below the 0.1% threshold, which is clearly trending down still over the long period of time, while Bitcoin's pretty much making new all-time highs. I mean, if you're looking at this from a trend and obviously structural perspective, Bitcoin is in the process of breaking out right now, or continuing the breakout, and we do essentially see funny rates coming down, which yesterday, leading into the event, funny rates were actually across the board above the 0.1% threshold. We said, hey, while this is kind of concerning a little bit, probably doesn't amount for much than just a short-term pullback, which is to be expected after a pretty damn monumental breakout from about $60,000 to almost $65,000 high about a day and a half ago. I guess it was actually yesterday. Anyways, with that said, oh Jesus, let me just make sure that my microphone's working. My microphone is working. Okay, good to do that when you're already a few minutes into your video. And with that said, let's go over here and check out the open interest as well. Again, a big thing that was kind of giving us that bullish bias, which I absolutely love to see on this chart right here, because we can see the actual price action chart overlaid with the open interest chart, and then also funny rate as well. Anyways, the open interest did precipitate price action as you would expect. That was giving us the upside resolution bias coming into the earlier portion of this month, now following through alongside with that, so you can kind of see how this operates over a long period of time. Now, of course, in the last 24 hours since we last spoke, we did see open interest come down a little bit. If we want to put a dollar number on that, I believe it was just above like 13.25 billion yesterday, if I recall properly. Now just below 13 billion. So with Bitcoin essentially playing a range after the long-term time frame breakout, we do essentially see that open interest is coming down, which does imply that people are taking profits, as you would when Bitcoin just moved up another 4,000, 5,000 bucks from the prior all-time high, right? Anyways, very simple stuff right there, and more importantly, very powerful stuff as well. I mean, typically the simplest stuff is the most powerful in my experience, it should be rather obvious of what's going on. And I would still suggest that this does say that the rally is still continuing, still going on, and all underlying market dynamics are looking, more or less fine across the board. You can see very clearly here, Bitcoin Dom is just trending down to the fucking hells, to the hellish pits. What's up, Quinsman? Your Kraken funny rate read has been too low for some time. Most exchanges rate is per 8 hours. Yes, we are aware of this. We're going to be doing the same thing on that as well. I think instead of ×8 your programmer. No, we actually don't know exactly what's going on because the API feeds seem to have like some sort of interference with each other. So we'll be fixing that in the next update, like I've been saying. But yes, thank you for the heads up right there. Anyways, I think that's it for the Krown chain application today. I think we've gotten just about everything there. Also, I should call it the liquidity zone, as they did a nice little dissection of the Coinbase IPO yesterday in real time. It's not really an IPO, it's direct listing, of course, like no new shares were actually created. And I'd really go suggest checking that out if you are interested in just traditional markets in general, but they're going to be going into detail on that. I'll be covering it today as well, but they actually went into a lot more specifics with regards to fundamentals, and I thought that was really, really good. So I do want to call that out, and you can check that out there. Anyways, with that said, I think it's time to go into the actual charts themselves, and let's see what we got going on. Oh, fucking baby, man. I see our lovely moderators in here already. What's up, Philson? What's up, Pedro? What's up, Mr. Caretaker's here. Hell yeah, man. It must be a late night for you. Jesus Christ, man. You are a demon without sleep. Anyways, looking at this right here, I still like what Bitcoin's doing on the higher term timeframes. We got yet again another closure above the topside Trolley band. My rule for that after a long-term consolidation is that as long as you are closing above or below, in the cases of a downtrend, the topside Trolley band, I look at that as a trend in motion. I look at this one as still in motion right here. I want to see if the 2-day is actually doing the same thing. In fact, it's actually not right here, which is rather interesting, but it will have a chance, obviously, on the next closure, not tonight, but tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Anyways, for what it's worth right now, the daily has a pretty obvious range going on here, and there's a pretty obvious trade once again. I absolutely love these setups just because it's so fucking simple. And at the end of the day, what do we have right here? We have a long-legged doji dildo, or if you want to call it a Darth Maul dildo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it represents the same thing. A bit of indecision, perhaps even reversal. In this case right here, do I think that this operates as reversal when it's above the topside Trolley band? Probably not, no. But if Bitcoin were to come back down and take out the low side of this daily dildo right here, which is 61,327 on Stamp, let's see what it is on Mexico. It is 61,355.5, so about the same. So I think that we can just kind of move on from there. Then I would be looking at this at the very least as a medium-term reversal. I would instantly target a move down a couple $1,000 from about 61.3 all the way down to about 58.8. So I guess that's I guess a few $1,000 right there. So definitely very much tradable. Am I looking for that to happen? No. Do I think that Bitcoin has some short-term downside? Yeah, actually I do. I think that Bitcoin probably swipes back down to $62,000. We might even see that on stream here. It's actually looking rather very likely. Anyways, on top of that, we do have a few other big things going on right here too. What do we see? We do see daily Stokes still nice and erect, although they will be getting to the critical zone, which is, well, not not the best thing, not the worst thing, but more importantly, we do see that it actually has broken what, there's not even really a trend line right there. It is just a bit of Jesus toast as far as I'm concerned. As far as DMI ADX goes, we do see DMI plus still very much dominant, ADX still strengthening, and I do more or less like that, especially after the ADX did break this trend line right here, which does suggest that we are kind of creating something new, and that would make sense as this goes all the way back to when? To February highs right here, which essentially gets this whole range, this whole formation. And once Bitcoin actually breaks out, you'd expect that to follow through as well, which you see exactly right here. So I do like that, and I do favor overall continuation. Again, MACD continuing with the uptrend here too, continuing with the bullish bias here too, alongside a break of actual pattern, alongside a continuation of actual trend and a break of structure. I mean, this is all classic stuff. So I do still favor the upside long term. I do still favor the upside medium term, but the only way that I change around my mind medium term is if Bitcoin comes back down and takes out yesterday's low. Just needs to tick below there, doesn't need to close below there. If it just ticks below yesterday's low, I will target moves multiple thousands of dollars lower. Now, I do still have open trades to follow up on my testnet account over here. Again, I have no skin in the game with this account. This is a testnet derivative account. It is not real money, to be 100% clear. I'm still holding my long from about 60,250 right here, printing about 0.2 in PNL. And if I go over here to my options, which I think is a little more interesting right now, With just one day, with just one day to go to expiration, it looks like all my short options are going to be just expiring worthless. So this is just all premium right now. In fact, I might even just consider putting in some low ball bids here just to kind of close these off, which I'll actually do exactly right now because there's no sense in holding something that is fucking worthless. It is only risk in this case. So I'm actually going to be on the closing side for all these right here. Let's see if I can just get rid of that. I don't think that I really need to close my 54,000 strike, but then again, that's famous last words. Anytime that I go into it where I'm like, I probably don't need to do that. It's probably just gonna be worthless. Well, a lot of the time it can only bite you in the ass, right? So I might as well close that one as well and take a bit of profits if I can. Now, of course, these marks are liquid as all hell. I actually want to get rid of that one right there too. I'll hold the 62,000 strike long calls. I don't really see a reason to close them right now. But I probably will take a little bit of a loss on that. But overall, the P&L should be decently positive. Should be at least above 0.1 for that. So a decent week all around for the testnet account, and back into the actual charts we go. So with that said, on Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin is essentially doing what we just spoke about, I'm going to be bullish on pretty much all time frames. If we go down to the lower term time frames, however, I do think that yes, we are looking at a pullback. Probably today, maybe even on this stream, $62,000 is rather likely. That's also your 4-hour 20 simple right here. If you're looking at the Troll bands, it's also going to be very interesting to analysize the DMI ADX right here too, because it does seem to be that it's setting up for another go here. And I'd be actually looking at the lower term timeframes to get the next sort of continuation phase. Higher term timeframes are just, well, they're just continuing, they are just simply continuing. I don't think that there's anything more to say on that statement. It's a lower term timeframes that I now look towards to kind of get those local highs and local lows within the greater trend. And this is a time where, I actually do think that using an hourly or 4-hour can be very much worthwhile, especially after Bitcoin has spent, the last 2 to 3 months basically consolidating within this range right here. We could say, effectively since about middle of February. You could also argue that this goes all the way back to January. It's all kind of a part of the same formation. You could make that argument with the volume signature right here, but I think definitely for this portion right here, yes, absolutely. And what would that imply? Well, that would imply that anytime that we have seen a 2 to 3 month long consolidation, those have, whenever they do break, had continuation for, very, very nice moves afterwards. So again, while I am short-term looking for a bit of a pullback here, I would, harken back to the last few consolidations that we actually have seen. One of them coming in right here. This one took about a month and a half from November to late December, mid to late December right here. So not even that great of a one. But as you can see, after that first girthy green dildo to the upside, does spend a little bit of time going sideways and then ultimately continues on. My point is that anytime that we've seen, one of these greater bases being built, price action after breaking will continue in that direction pretty much every time that you look in Bitcoin's history. You see the same thing right on over here. This was about a 2-month long consolidation between September and late October, and then getting continuation right here, trade sideways for a little bit, makes everyone kind of second guess themselves, and then continues onwards and upwards. We see the exact same thing right here. Actually, this one really profound, in fact, because this was about a 3-month long consolidation, which are typically like the most powerful ones in Bitcoin, at least what we typically see. All of those have led on to like major moves. And this one, no different here, as you can see, all the way from May to about July. This one consolidating, and then boom, massive move up. I think this was like a 30% move, pretty much from breakout to next high. Yeah, about a 31% move actually. Then we have, of course, the top. This obviously works to the downside as well. The top in 2019, right, when Bitcoin was trading right around $14,000. This one consolidates all the way from June to, of course, September. About a 3-month long program there as well. And of course, that first splurt down does, trade sideways for a while, but ultimately the trend does continue, and the trend never really reverts itself right here, obviously. So in this case, I'm really expecting something like this. I mean, that was your China bullshit news, right? And then of course, the prior major reversal off the $3,100 low, that was a 3-month long consolidation as well on extremely low volatility. And then what happens if you get that first pop? Well, consolidate sideways and then up again. So I'm kind of looking for the same thing here. I do think that Bitcoin trades a little bit of sideways and down in the short-term time frames, and then continues onwards and upwards towards those deeper $60,000 targets, of which I still pretty much have the same things in line right here. Or if I go to my CME chart, it's going to be a little bit better. We can see right here the 3.618 is exactly where I'm looking towards. And of course, once again, the fibs don't work except when they do, because once again, the 3-spot fib getting this current sort of fuck around right around this $63,000 strike on CME right here. And again, this has just been working pretty damn well the whole way up. So I've no real reason to kind of let go of this just yet. I still favor this one for what it's worth right now, but we can actually make a new one based off of our current structure. I don't see any real reason why not, which I'll just pull up right here. I guess I'll just destroy this chart. Well, no, let's use a different chart right here. I'll just use a whole completely new one, and we can actually make another fib extension from this current base that Bitcoin just resolved, and it'd be from there to there with a top of about 61,000 bucks, the bottom of about 45,000 bucks, and what do you know? We got the one spot 414 right around 68,000, which is going to be an area of interest, not necessarily the one spot 272, although I would be looking for pullbacks to there after the one spot 414 is hit. And if things really do get crazy, then the next sort of major targets I'm going to have are going to be in the mid $80,000 region. I would not necessarily call a move to there just yet because we don't really have anything else pointed up towards there. I really want to see confluence in this market in order to kind of generate those more crazy targets, which we don't really have. And while those are really, really interesting to talk about and fun to talk about, no doubt. What I would say about that is as a trader, I'm not going to be looking for the fucking moonshot unless if I'm like an investor, maybe I have those numbers in order, just kind of like harken back to. But looking at this right here, we do have an ascending triangle, obviously, and the measure move on this one is pointed up where it's actually pointed up towards about 72,500 if I do take this March 14th high. Now, to be fair, you could very easily argue that should not be included just because that was a weekend, and if we do exclude that weekend data, it'd look a little bit something more like this, and I imagine that's going to be a little bit more in line, around our $70,000 target, right around 69,000 bucks, which is right around that one spot 414. So I would still be looking for pullbacks around there. Of course, coming back to the CME chart over here, we see the exact same thing. Right around the 3 spot 618 from the prior base, from about 41,000 bucks all the way down to 30,000 bucks essentially. And I would be, again, keeping a keen eye on that region. And then if Bitcoin starts to, create a base above 69,000 bucks, we'll call it, or I think 70,000 bucks would be a little bit more confidence inducing. Then yes, I will start to target moves into the mid $80,000 region. But I do like to take these things one leg at a time, one step at a time at the end of the day. And again, this is all contingent upon, this medium term time frame range that we had established yesterday. If Bitcoin does take out the $61,327 low from yesterday, I will get medium term, or I will be looking for medium term downside. I'll be looking for a $2,000 to $3,000 move to the downside, a little bit below 59,000 bucks, and then reassess from there. But for right now, I do go with the trend, I do go with the momentum, and I do go with the ultimate structure and the macro cycle right here too, which I'm looking at this as more or less an opportunity right now. Not that I really added any long deltas to any of my positions. In fact, I was mostly de-risking into yesterday's event. But ultimately, I do believe that yesterday's event was a long-term, good thing. It's a long-term bullish thing. You're seeing more infrastructure being built up in this market. You're seeing more traditional venues essentially, adopt this as an asset class, which is a big fucking deal. Now, is it going to change the world like, some Bitcoin cheerleaders would have you believe? No, probably not. Like, just like the people who say that Bitcoin is worthless and going to zero are ridiculous, so are the people who say that Bitcoin's going to like 250,000 bucks by the end of this year. I think that that's ridiculous as well. I do think that Bitcoin could maybe hit a six-digit target this year. I think that that's possible, but I do think that we're a lot closer to having a major top within this market than not. What I'm going to be watching for a major top within this market, however, is a couple very actually a lot of things, but if I could give you like 3 really fucking easy ways to do it right now, or I wouldn't say easy because that employs the wrong sort of mentality, but if I could give you 3 ways that I think are pretty much going to get it if and when it does happen, it would be this. First and foremost, you got your weekly trend. Anytime that we've seen a weekly reversal, those have been macro moves, and in this case right here, any sort of a weekly reversal here would obviously be the top of the market, and those have always produced when we're talking about macro moves 80 or 70 to 90% downside moves within the history of Bitcoin on all weekly reversals. I'm talking about this baby over here, this one going down about 70, 74, 75%, not bad. This one over here going all the way down about 87 and 3/4. This one over here more recently going down about 84, and then this one more recently over here in 2019, hey, get the fuck back on over there we go. This one going down about 73, about 73% right there. So weekly reversal, pretty damn easy. And that would be probably the most dependable in my opinion. Now, does that mean you're going to get the ultimate top? No, it doesn't actually. Just by fucking definition, you're not, because you have to wait for either a high, a lower high or a lower low. No shit. Anyways, on top of that, I also would be looking at either daily or weekly historical volatility percentile. I do think that the weekly is actually a little bit more relevant here with my settings. And what you can see is that on any macro high, now, to be fair, not on all macro highs, but Also, some major highs, we have seen HVP print into obviously the red digits. Like we're talking about 90 percentile plus. And all of these have been essentially met with, well, this high right here, this high right here, this, I guess this doesn't really count. I mean, there's not really enough history right here to populate this. I'm using a 252 period. We have this high right here. Obviously, this one over here did print some red, yes, but this was actually on the low, which was a really, really good buy opportunity before a basically 10x move from 2,000 to 20,000 bucks within that same year. Quite nice. So this one actually does get the highs and the lows pretty damn well. If we go down to the daily, it's going to fire off a lot more, obviously. On the weekly over here, this one doesn't necessarily get the low all that well. But more importantly, as what we're looking at right now, to put things into perspective, is Bitcoin even getting anywhere fucking near the 90 percentile? Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, within the perspective of like the last year, going back to August 2020, yes. I mean, we're all the way down in the single digits in the weekly. But as far as it's going right now, 75 and 3/4%, or sorry, 75 and 3/4 percentile is, I mean, could still very much be reasonable to expect that there is more. On top of that, we do have weekly RSI here. All major tops in Bitcoin's history have been met with an RSI above, I believe, 90 it is. And you can see, you can back this yourself, except for actually, is this one right here? Actually, kind of, no, this is not a macro high right here. So no, that does not count. We have this one right here, obviously getting all the way up to about almost 100. This one over here, let's actually dial this one in. I do want to see what this looks like. Yeah, so this one right here is almost literally a 100. That is extremely impressive. You almost never see that, especially on a higher term time frame. We got a 96.5 read right here in 2018 on the $20,000 high. Hit about 90 right here, a little bit above 90. More recently in December 2020. December 2020, by the way, was right here. I'm talking about right here at the $40,000 high. We did hit up all the way towards about a 95. So that was pretty damn egregious. But having hidden bullish evidence on the other side does lead me to believe that Bitcoin does have another move to the upside here. And if we do start to get back into the 90, alongside seeing especially daily HVP get up to about 90 percentile plus, that's going to be a pretty damn good signal that, you know, the end is nigh, and that I'd be looking for a weekly reversal to fully confirm that. And, you know, how do I trade that afterwards? A lot of people have been asking. I actually just move out of the market if that happens. I actually don't look for the short position until we're a little bit more deep into the bear market. The reason why is because I actually don't really have a whole hell of a lot of need to trade it right now. In 2017, I did about the same thing. I pretty much took everything out of the market right here, and then started actually like looking for shorts and at around 12,000 bucks a couple months later, which actually do have the videos for, as I did start doing my videos around that time. Anyways, a few years ago now, which is kind of crazy actually. Like a lot of people in this community I've actually known now for almost 3 years, which is fucking insane. Really makes you think, man. Pretty fucking cool too. Anyways, okay, I'm getting way off track right now. Let's go talk about short-term timeframes a little bit more here. Again, short-term timeframes I do think come down. 62,000 bucks is certainly not out of the question. 4-hour momentum oscillators are all pointed southwards right now. We do see 4-hour RSI getting kicked out of the bullish control zone. Now, of course, long-term, I do look at this as more or less good. This is rather constructive read here, but short-term, yeah, probably does come back down into the mid of the neutral zone at the very least. I imagine the 3 hours probably already there. And yes, it is already having a hidden bullish evidence on the other side. That is a good signal that Bitcoin is going to try to put in a base somewhere around 62,000 bucks. Same thing on the buy hourly, and same thing I imagine on the hourly as well. Yes, actually even regular bullish evidence. And yet again, to kind of reference what someone asked on a live stream, I think it was a couple days ago. I want to show this off right here. There's regular bull div right here, and this should not be considered regular bull div by like your traditional RSI rules. Problem is, The problem is that it actually fucking works. And again, I have no explanation for why I have no reasonable explanation for why this works. Like nothing that I can prove myself. It's just I find that it works more often than not. And when I say more often than not, it's looking to be a little bit more than 70% when you get those signals, even off those like what should be not good reads or not good signals. They seem to work out anyway. So even on this one right here, it did give a move from about what 62.4, 62.5 all the way up to about $1,000 move all the way to 63.5. Jesus fucking Christ, man, that is Strange. Again, I have no idea what to use to explain that. I don't think that it needs an explanation. In fact, I think that a lot of people waste their time trying to explain this sort of shit because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We don't even. I mean, even if you could explain it, will that change how you use it? Not really. No. I mean, I'm sure some smart ass out there is going to argue otherwise, but I always see this guy, in fucking God bless this guy in the Discord, but I always see this guy in the Discord who's like having these really fucking philosophical, theoretical discussions about technical analysis and whatnot, and it's great, you know. I mean, it's really high consciousness sort of conversation, really makes you think, but at the end of the day, it's like, look, man. This is a distraction. If you're actually looking how to trade, you know, understanding this is cool, it's great, and you know, it's, if you go to like a really boring party with me where there's all sorts of traders around, you can talk about that, although I'll want to fucking blow up my brains too. But you know, at the end of the day, does it actually help you become a better trader? No. Application helps you become a better trader, obviously. So you know, it's fun stuff to kind of mentally masturbate about, but at the end of the day, man, you know, leave that shit for the books, and realistically, I don't really think that books make you a better trader. Then again, you know, everyone's different, right? And then at the end of the day, you know, it's no harm, no foul. Anyways, daily RSI telling the story right here as well. Hidden bullish divergence leading us back into the bullish control zone. I do quite like this. On top of that, we also do have, I believe, a break. No, actually, we don't have a break of this trend line, but we certainly do of this one right here, in fact, which is actually a little more relevant, seeing as this was the range going back to middle of February on our current highs of the, or sorry, you know, on the start of that consolidation, on that stair stepping up process. So I do actually rather like that as well. We do see on the buy daily, same shit here too. This one a little bit more powerful, being that it is 2x that time frame, and 3-day doing the same thing as well. And then obviously the weekly having 2 drives of hidden bullish divergence right there, I rather like. So again, I still favor Bitcoin continuation here. If Bitcoin was going to sell off, you know, due to the Coinbase event, it would have happened yesterday. Coinbase sold off hard as fuck. I mean, I'll show you straight up right here. I think it saw a high of like what, 430, traded all the way down to like 330 or 309, I think low. Yeah, 310 low right there. I mean, this is going to dump more and more today, I imagine. But ultimately, you know, Bitcoin to me seems like it's, I mean, it is affected, but I don't think that it's, I don't think that it's like the sell the event type thing that a lot of people are postulating. I think that Bitcoin still continues more here. I think that Bitcoin still has even bigger events on the horizon with an ETF. And I think that Bitcoin is, I mean, Bitcoin's kind of like leading it rather than that, or I mean, it's not even that Bitcoin's leading it. It's just that, you know, this is so fucking new right here. You don't really have too much to be going off of except for like the actual fundamentals. So fair enough. Anyways, whoops, that's going to be completely unusable right there with a daily when you only have like literally 2 hours worth of trading history. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about Coinbase chart today. Look, it's the same. I'll give you the same answer as when someone asked me to look at a shitcoin chart that has barely any history. We have 2 hours here, 2 fucking hours, man. I don't think that technical analysis works on something that even has like 2 years of history. Although you can probably use a little bit of it, you know, on the easier things and more obvious things, but in this case right here, certainly not. You know, I think that you actually have to look at the fundamentals and just kind of let it do its thing for, you know, for a few weeks at the very least. And then kind of judge it from there. But, you know, if I have very little experience with actually trading IPOs. In fact, I've never personally traded an IPO or direct listing right off the fucking bat, you know, in like the first minute of it. I have no interest in that. That's not my game. That's not my edge. And if anything, to me, that would be more gambling, just because, again, that's not my edge. But looking at this right here, if there is one thing that I do know about, you know, about these, about like basically a fresh IPO, which this one's not, it's a direct listing, but same shit for the purposes of this discussion. Whenever you see something like this where it dumps below your initial open, it's going to dump more. And that's exactly what we see right here. And I imagine that this one is going to, at the very least, retest back down to low 300. I do think that this one, you know, probably does try a base somewhere in like the mid to upper 200s. I actually do think that if this thing came down to 250, that would be a no-brainer. But again, am I trading that one myself? Fuck no. Is this financial advice? It's the furthest thing from it. I'm not a financial advisor. Anyways, okay, I've already spoken my head off here. I think I have, because we're 40 minutes into this bitch, and I haven't even consulted with the chat just yet. So you know what? I think it's time for me to get on to the chatty chats. And let's see what we got going on right now. How you doing, Mr. Jack Frost? Aliens got him. Have the aliens got me, sir? I don't know, man. I've been being visited by aliens since I was born, I think, in the form of little green aliens. If you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's see. Crypto OG says, "Hey, Krown, question: if you don't think 250 is in play for this year, Can you please give your best future price, sir? You are that is like the worst question to ask, unless if like you're just trying to have a fucking like mental masturbation conversation. What that question tells me is that you are looking for the fucking moonshot. Do I think that Bitcoin could hit $250,000 this year? Fuck no, I don't think so. No, I would strongly doubt that. Do I think that Bitcoin could hit $250,000 over the next coming years? Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think that that's out of the question. I think that Bitcoin can hit some of those more deeper numbers, but $250,000, that's a lot of fucking money, man. That's more than that would be like almost a 5x from where we're at right now. No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. We've already seen a pretty phenomenal run. Look, man, let's put things into perspective here. Let's put things into perspective. Bitcoin has fucking run in the last 6 months 520%. That's ridiculous, man. That's fucking absurd. That's fucking absurd. Okay. Do I think that Bitcoin goes more from here? Yes, I do. Do I think that Bitcoin goes from here to $250,000 in a straight line? Fuck no. That is ridiculous. Let's ground ourselves back into the earth here. As I really want to get away from that sort of moon boyish type talk. I feel like a moon boy already looking at Bitcoin going up to almost $100,000. That is pretty fucking impressive in and of itself. What's up, Ray T? Ray T says, hi, Krown. Hello, Ray. Can you please look at Link USD 4-hour and daily? Sure, man. I got you. Let's see what we got over here. Link trading $40 right now, looking damn good. We've been bullish on this one. I'd continue to be bullish on this one. I think that we hit our short-term target to 41, and god damn it, my charts are too convoluted right here. But yes, indeed, it does look like it's right fucking there. Just Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, it looks like I'd actually just hit up to the 2 spot. Yeah, I'll take the good one right here. Yeah, $44 right there, high. So yes, a little bit of a short-term pullback. Maybe even comes back down to like 38.5. I look for a bounce there. Ultimately, though, I do think that this one will head up somewhere around $50. The 2 spot 618 being a big target for this one. And this is one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land over a long period of time. If Bitcoin gets going, which I do believe that Bitcoin is going right now, Link is going to be one of the bigger beneficiaries of that. It's been strong when Bitcoin has been weak, and typically speaking, when the market turns around led by Bitcoin, these ones that were, acting better during the down times are going to be the first ones to just really fucking blast themselves. And in this case, I think Link is that one. I mean, Link's been no secret for a while now, and we've been keeping our eye on it ever since here in like November 2018, I believe. Remember people asking about it over here. They must have known something, because this is the best chart in cryptocurrency land in the last 3 years, no doubt about it in my mind. Anyways, you're looking at a 4-hour and a daily. Daily's continuation. As long as this thing's above $36.5, this is an uptrend. This is very likely to continue to about the $50 target. Is this one going to have short-term sideways and downs? Yeah, I think that you might even come a little bit further down here in the short term. Like I said, what was it, like 38.5 or 39.5 would be an obvious bounce area for myself. Ultimately, though, I do like the breakout volume right here, and I do favor overall continuation if that is what you're looking for, sir. Jean Del Rubio says, can you check VRA veracity, please? Sure, man. You didn't include a base pairing or a time frame, so I'm just going to default to US dollar, and I'm going to default to a daily. So again, if you don't say so, I'm just going to make it up myself, man, because I don't know what to be going off of. This one looks like it's well, at the very best, it's going to try to create a range. At the very worst, it's going to actually put in a reversal. We have 1, 2, 3 drives of bearish divergence. We have a big jewel sell signal right here. If I was just looking at this one, I'd be favoring the downside right now. Is it wise to be favoring the downside while Bitcoin is essentially in a continuation posture? No, not at all. But this one probably has a little bit of short-term, medium-term downside, followed by another upside drive. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one come back down somewhere around just below like 3 or around like 3 cents, and then try another upside move. Long term probably does follow the rest of the market, but short term, does it play at some downside? I would say so, yes. Is there anything that would cause me to change my opinion on that? Yes, there is. Any sort of a 4-hour delta closure above 4.7 cents, and I'd get bullish immediately. Once again, looking for new all-time highs. Let's see who else we got. What's up, MF Pump? How you doing, man? MF Pump, you fucking troll of the Discord, you. Do you think that institutional investors would accumulate Bitcoin via lateral markets? And will smarter money shift market dynamics on higher time frames Are there potential technical implications of that? Okay, will smarter, okay, so you're making a lot of assumptions here. First off, smarter money, are they entering the market? No, I think smart money is already here, and just money is entering into the market now. Like my question to you would be, where is that assumption coming from, and what is it being based off of? And like because you're postulating me with the situation, which I can give you an answer for, but I'm not necessarily sure that that's the situation, what's going on here, right? So let's run with that assumption that what you're saying is true. Okay, so would smarter money shift dynamics on higher term timeframes? I mean, if they're investors, yes, they're going to be thinking long term. Absolutely. That like that is, and I think that you do have an argument for that, mostly because traditional investors, the kind of people who are going to be looking at Coinbase as a good way to get somewhat of a diversification within the crypto space, against the crypto, within the crypto space on traditional markets. They are going to be thinking longer term, because these are going to be, major hedge funds. These are going to be long-term investment type of firms. So with that in mind, I would imagine that, yeah, they're going to be looking at higher term timeframes. They're probably looking at like the weekly versus the monthly, for example. But again, that's more of a strategy question. It's like, are they going to be investing or are they going to be trading? Well, the traders are more or less already here. I mean, major quant firms have known about fucking Bitcoin for forever, and they've been actually trading this on all the exchanges that you and I trade on as well. So it's like we can't really make assumptions for things that like we can't fully identify, and unless you can show me the data of exactly like who these people are, I can't speak towards them. And obviously, they're going to have, I mean, they can obviously change their mind as well, but in general, if we're just taking the operative term of institutional investors, as you said, then I'd say yes, it's going to be operating on higher term timeframes. Doesn't mean they're going to not see short term timeframe moves. I mean, of course you are going to see them, but what they're going to be looking for is major signs of higher term timeframe exhaustion and reversals and whatnot. They're not going to be like concerned about a fucking hourly divergence, for example, or an hourly trend change. They're playing a much longer game. When you have to move around hundreds of millions of dollars or $1 billion, it's not easy to fucking do. It's really not easy to do. So they're probably more in it for the long term if they want to be in it at all. Serperator says, hey Krown, what's up, Serperator? Hey man, no problem, brother. Mara 4-hour daily. Okay. All right, Mara 4-hour daily, still bullish. Let's check it out. This is actually gonna be a really interesting one to check out, just because it's this one's like after the after the big event, right? Short term, I would be looking for some downside. I'd be looking for a move to like 37.5. I know you didn't ask about a weekly, but I do want to see the weekly. I'll be simultaneously looking for a bounce right there too. You got a golden cross on the weekly. You're coming down to the 10 simple. It's classic bounce area for that sort of a thing. Also the daily 55 right there. So short term, yeah, is very likely down. I want to see how it responds there though. If you're looking at a 4-hour, then that's not really fair to judge the long term of this one on a 4-hour when you got decades of history here going back to, or I guess a decade of history going back to about 2012. Ultimately, though, bearish divergence on the weekly is not necessarily the best thing of all time. So short-term time frames very likely do bounce there. Does this one continue down to like $30 and try to put in a base somewhere between about like mid to low $30? I would say that would be really, really healthy long term. Again, you didn't really ask about a weekly, so it's like, what do you mean still bullish right now? I think that this one trades sideways and down on the timeframes that you indicated right there. Long term, though, would I still be bullish on it? Probably yes, but I think that this one takes a bit of a breather. Again, putting things in perspective, this one's gone absolutely vertical since coronavirus dumped to where we're at right now. We're talking about 16,800%. Yeah, I do think that this one does play at some short term and medium term sideways and down and takes its time. This one probably put, I mean, the bigger base and range that this thing puts in, above $30, the better for the long term. And I think that you've probably seen the highs of this rally for the time being. I'll put it that way. M. Aurora says, but Krown, did you use Elsa's hair dryer today? Actually, no. My hair is just having like an extra bad hair day. I mean, look at this, man. This is disgusting. Like, Jesus Christ. I might as well just be bald by this point. It's like, this is embarrassing. Sushi Perp, FTX 1 hour, please. All right, very low term time frames, but sure, no problem. So how do you spell sushi? No, it's Sue. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Sushi Derp on FTX. You said hourly. Okay. Well, weekly says up. Daily says up. Hourly says sideways and up. Yeah, sideways and up within a low side of the range would be like 17.5, but ultimately I do think that this one's stair-stepping up, change of behavior volume over here after a little bit of a accumulation phase for like the last week or two, it looks like. So yeah, I do favor the upside here. Next area of interest, the upside is going to be about 19.25, 1930-ish region. So yeah, sideways and up is the name of the game there. At least as far as I'd be looking. Okay, what else did I miss over here? Actually, let me just pull up my chats over here. This can be like significantly better for my eyes. Here we go. All right, let me just find out exactly where we left off. Okay, so I think we just spoke with Mr. M. Aurora. Yes, we did. Okay, sweet. Crypto Psycho says, WMT daily, please, sir. Thank you, sir, for using my proper gender pronoun. I feel validated now because I don't know. Because the opinions of other people matter more than what I know to be flesh and blood. Yeah, how about that, man? How about that? That's a discussion for not this channel, because YouTube really doesn't like those discussions, by the way. They really, really don't. I noticed that my videos definitely get deprioritized when that happens. Anyways, WNT, what do we see right here? Overall, I do think that this one is pulling the corner. I do think that this one is seeing a change of behavior. However, if you are looking at the daily specifically, I would be looking for a bit of a sideways range here. Anywhere above 137.5 is bullish long term to me, or well, as far as the daily goes, that is. Short-term timeframes. I'd actually be looking for, yeah, probably try back up to 142 region. It does look more or less good to me. Hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour right here. I know you didn't ask about that, but the daily is more or less following through with that as well. Above all major movement averages, yeah, I would favor some upside here. Again, I'm bullish on this thing on the daily as long as it's above the 55, which is 137.5. Jordan Chen, hello, sir. XMR BTC, sure, man, I got you, sir, I got you. XMR BTC, okay. Where do I actually have that one already here? No, I don't. I don't have the Bitcoin parent. I do have the US dollar parent, but the Bitcoin parent I haven't looked at in years. So let's check this one out on Binance, and looks like absolute dog shit. In fact, oh my god. Hey, wow, even Monera's not really getting a piece of this rally versus Bitcoin. That's really awful. I mean, you know, it is rallying here, obviously, but as far as the long-term downtrend goes, this one is unfortunately not very compelling. We'll say not very compelling, and that's where your downtrend's coming in. So this thing could rally up significantly and still be caught within a macro downtrend. Man, I really don't like that. I really don't like that as not joining the rest of the market and having these just astronomical moves. But you're looking at a 6.9 hour time frame pre's. Okay, well, I don't have that, but I do have a 6 hour time frame. I'd actually be looking for up here. I do think that short term, medium term, it does try some more upside. It probably does make a stab towards like 0.625 region. But long term, do I have any reason to believe that this thing's reverting the trend right now? No, I don't. But I do think that this one has more upside long term if that's what you're looking at. But I don't really know with the 6.9 time frame. It's kind of like the short end of the medium term time frames, I suppose. La Major 23 says, can you check out Chile's USD short medium term? Sure, man. CHZ USD. Okay, Binance short medium term. Okay, so that to me means 12 hour and 4 hour. 12 hour is good. I'd still be looking for a move towards 56 cents. 4 hour is also good. I'd be looking for. Yeah, I'd be looking for a short-term move to about 56, 57 cents. Any sort of a clearance of this last local high on 13th of April, and I'd be looking for extension all the way to 68 cents and probably beyond. I think that this one's just generally joining the market. Hidden bullish divergence accompanied with the TSI signal to the upside right here too. I'm going to favor this one. Yeah, short-term, medium-term looking good, and long-term actually looking good as well, in fact. What's up, Winning Choice 87? Love to see you back live at the US time zone. Can you please check out Cardano BTC? We'll be doing that tomorrow, by the way. We'll be going back to the regular, or what will be the regular time zone. But today couldn't really make it work because I do have, like I said, a bunch of other commitments that I do need to get to, which kind of, dirtied up my later day schedule, if you will. And I actually get to go back to the gym for the first time today too, which I'm really happy about. Okay, let's see. So 4 hour in daily. Okay, let's see. We'll start off with the 4 hour first. 4 hours just sideways and up. I do like this. I'd generally be looking somewhere around 2,400. Daily is same thing. Just generally, I think that this one's already put in a base here. Probably has, no divergences on the other side, but I do like the daily TSI signal right here in the bullish buy zone with another cross the upside within the context of an uptrend and within the context of a general bullish market right now. now. Yeah, I do think that this one does probably pop back up, test around 2400. If this one takes out 2400, I would be looking for an extension pretty much to the prior high of this run at about 29. Yeah, this one's looking pretty damn good. It's looking pretty damn good on higher term time frames. All right, nice one. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Hambone Crypto says, morning, Mr. Hambone. Can you check out FTM, BTC, KuCoin, 4-hour daily? All right, FTM, BTC, Phantom. Phantom, what is Phantom? I feel like I know this name, but I guess nothing's really ringing a bell. Again, within the context of, well, actually, to be honest, I see a lot more, I see a few bearish things going on right here, but I'm hesitant to really be leaning towards that, especially with what we saw in the Bitcoin dominance chart. Yeah, if I had to call it, I'm actually going to favor the low term timeframes here. I think this death cross is not going to work out. I think this death cross is inherently a bad one as well. It's very far away from price action. I don't think that this one actually plays except for a short-term move, which we've kind of already gotten. I'd actually be looking for this one to create a bit of a range between where it's at right now and its current low structure at about 635, and then probably try a bit of a reversal from there. I don't think that this one is like gonna spit out its current rally and go all the way back down to 430-ish region, but if you do start to take out the last higher low on the daily, then that would be my target. However, until that happens, I think it trades a little bit of sideways and down in the short-term time frames, and then tries some upside and follows the rest of the market. This is actually one of the better Bitcoin pairing charts, to be fair, just because this one is, well, this one did make new all-time highs, and it has been around for a couple years now. Yeah, about a couple years, so maybe not perfect, but fair enough. But Da Vinci said it's going to 2 million by September, says JG. Fair enough. I would like some of what he is having, actually. Hey man, look, here's the thing, and I think a lot of people inherently know this, but for a lot of the crypto influencers, right, like the people on crypto YouTube, crypto Reddit, crypto Twitter, in order to for the guys who make their money from I guess marketing and advertisement and ad revenue and shit like that, which look, I'm not even passing a judgment on whether that's good or bad. Like, you make up your own mind about that. But those guys, in order to generate more and more excitement, they need to keep on upping the fucking ante, right? So first it was like Bitcoin to $50,000. That was pretty ridiculous. Bitcoin actually got there. Then it was like Bitcoin to $100,000. That looks like it's reasonable. I do think that it is reasonable, maybe even this year. Then it was Bitcoin to $250,000. Then it was Bitcoin to $500,000. Then it was Bitcoin to $1 million. No, fuck you. 2 million. No, fuck you. 5 million. No, 10 million. It's like, look, it just keeps on going more and more because it's a bit of a dopamine rush to even just suggest that, as people start to fantasize about what their life would look like with their 0.1 Bitcoin holding when Bitcoin's trading potentially 10 million bucks. Like, wow, I'm rich now. Well, actually, no, you're not. And probably something terrible has gone on with the world if Bitcoin is actually at 10 million bucks to begin with. But fair enough, man. Just understand that a lot of those guys, they need to get the views, right? And again, I'm not even passing judgment on that. Fair enough. They actually do a service with kind of spreading awareness of this asset class, which is cool, which kind of does help you out in a tangential way, obviously. So that does deserve some respect. But at the same time, is that realistic? No, I don't. 2 million by the end of the year, fuck no. I think that's absurd. I think that's irresponsible, to be honest with you. Raj Kapoor says, hello, would you be able to take a look at TVK BUSD? I can. TVK BUSD. This looks like a monstrosity already as far as the ticker goes. Okay, so barely any history here. Do I trust technical analysis on this? I don't at all, man. Thank you for the channel. I appreciate that, man. But I feel poorly that you're asking for a daily, weekly on something that has been around for a month. Sorry, man. I hate to break it to you, but there is no analysis to be made on something like this on the weekly. There's barely analysis to be made on this on the daily. Maybe on a 4 hour in this case. There's some bullish divergence here. Yeah, I'd be looking for maybe a short-term move back up to 65 cent or whatever the fuck this BUSD bullshit is. Other than that, man, I can't give any opinion because I don't fully believe that I even have a good idea of what's going on here, man. Have to be honest on this one. I don't. Look, I'm not the person to ask for this because I don't think anything fucking works for some that is this young. Damn Tazia says, I'm already sorry, sir. Nano USD weekly. Motherfucker, man. My voice can't handle it. So I'm just going to warn you right now. Man. I can actually not handle it. I'm curious if Nano is even joining the big rally. Nope. Nano's still a piece of shit, but even Nano does get a bit of some upside there too. to be fair. I imagine the Bitcoin pair is not looking too good. To be honest with you, though, I do think that it heads back up to about $8.5 or 860-ish region. Look, the rest of the market is basically getting a free ride, so I don't see any real reason why Nano won't either. It is in an uptrend on a daily and a weekly right here. A little bit of a short-term range between about 480 and its current price, or sorry, its current high structure about 6.25. Long term, though, yeah, I do think that it pops back up towards like 8.5 and probably a little bit more than that. So fair enough. Holographic moon boob conspiracy, says Caretaker. Love it. That sounds like something I'd be interested in. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. What else did I miss over here? Marius Playing says, hey, Krown, what's up, sir? Can you look at Ethereum USD? Yes, actually, Ethereum USD is one of the ones that's really driving another bullish bias in conjunction with Bitcoin here. The reason why I say that is because Ethereum hasn't even seen really a pullback. Ethereum's just pure continuation off this. Ethereum looks really fucking good. And if the whole market was going to reverse, we wouldn't expect Ethereum to be looking like this right here. I think Ethereum's probably leading this rally. I still stick with my $2,500 Ethereum target. In fact, it looks like that one's pretty much been hit. Hey, those fibs, that fib bullshit working again? What the fuck is this hocus pocus? I've had enough of this. I'm out. It's so funny to see the resistance on fibs from people. Look, I mean, this is really fucking common stuff. You see it all the time. You see it all the fucking time. And there you go. This target being mit right here. But I would say that, while this one does provide a little bit of a short-term pushback, ultimately, I don't really have any real reason to believe that things stop there. I'll be looking for deeper 2000s. Probably 2800 would be the next big one for myself. Short term, however, does it put in a short term top here? I mean, even the short term, it looks like it already kind of put in a bit of a sideways range short term. So you could maybe even argue that that's already played out. The 4 hour looks like continuation here. So fair enough. Yeah, I think that the short term is probably already played out. You did see about $100 move to the downside, a little bit more than $100 move to the downside. So fair enough on that one. God damn, hocus pocus at it again. Hey, Pedro, you don't need to be so heavy-handed with the moderation, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. If unless the people are like just being a complete fucking eyesore, then go for it. Jesse Lajoli says, hi, Dad. Sir, I am not the father. Cardano USD daily Binance. Okay. We haven't looked at the US dollar pairing, but I imagine it's going to look pretty damn good there. Let's see, daily right here, looking good. Yeah, this one very similar to well, actually not as similar to Ethereum, more similar to Bitcoin here. Retested the breakout area, classic shit again. What do you know? Puts in the short-term high right around the 1.414. Crazy shit, right? Those damn fibs are at it again. What the fuck is this? I'd have targets much deeper, man. Probably towards $2 long term. I don't know if you're thinking long term, but I do think that this one is actually one of the better actors, especially when we look at a weekly. It's in price discovery right now. It's literally having continuation phase in front of our very eyes. I do think long term $2, maybe even more. Nero Strutton, what's up, sir? Bruh. Let's check your favorite S coin, BAT USD, any time frame. Let's get the jewel on there. Okay, BAT. Let's see. So you're talking about like literally base attention token, this thingy. Looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good on the weekly, that's for sure. Any time frame? Look, man, it's bullish as fuck. Bullish as fuck here. One of the better charts again in cryptocurrency land. Not the best, not like Link, but as this one has seen some pretty nasty downsides in the past. But this one, of maybe like the second like relatively strong strata. Yeah, that's the word that I'm looking for. Hidden bullish evidence all alongside this continuation phase right here. I'd be favoring more upside. If this thing came back down to like 135, I'd look at that as a big opportunity. Long term, I would be looking for this one to march on a new all-time highs. Do you have any targets for this one to give? I don't. All my tools for looking at things like this are not going to be working all that well. I mean, I could maybe do an extension for this area right here. I don't really believe that it'll... Oh, actually, I've already done it, apparently. It would suggest 175. Oh, what do you know? The 2-spot extension getting the fucking high of this one once again. Crazy shit, sirs and zers. But again, not a big one. It's this area right here, 175. That'll be having big eyes on. This one is getting pretty damn hot here though. So I do think this next leg might be the big one and probably the last one for a while. But at least bullish for now. Thomas Struck says, can you look at Vesta's wind system trigger? Sir, can you give me a fucking ticker, please? Okay, there we go. VWS, I spoke too soon. All right, there we go. I guess, okay, which exchange, man? There's plenty of different ones. I'm going to guess you're looking at on like Denmark. Medium and long term, okay, well, this is a real stock, so we can look at like a daily, weekly. Short term, or sorry, daily, I'd be looking for it to come back down to 1100 basically. Weekly, I'd be looking for a range to be created. Where's 1100? Is that gonna be right around here? Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to try some low structure at like 1100, and then try another rally from there and trade sideways for a while. Long term, I do like it. This one's obviously broken the structure. Long term, above $700, really fucking strong move right there. I just look at this one as consolidation sideways and down. Long term continuation to the upside. Okay, cool. Marcus, rewind to the beginning, says Pedro. Yeah, there you go, man. AVRCE has a great comment. 250k is only like 6x from here. May sound moon boy, but I think it's possible. Well, look, the question was, do I think that $250,000 is possible by the end of the year? Fuck no, man. That is ridiculous. We've already seen a 6x from like September. Come on, man. Look, we're getting fucking crazy. Man. I want to bring this back down to reality for a second. Bitcoin's already had a phenomenal run. And it very likely has more on this run as well. I don't think that it's impossible to get to 6 digits. In fact, I think it's rather likely, maybe even this year. Long term, do I think $250,000 is possible? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that it happens at the end of this year? No. God damn, man. Goddamn. Fishy with Donnie says vet BTC 1 to 4 hour crown. Your streams are midnight here. Pull them up after work. Fuck yeah, man. Well, hopefully the time change helps you out a little bit, because I do value sleep quite a fair bit. And maybe you do as well. 4 hours looking good. 4 hours continuation. Hourly is obviously continuation as well. This one is literally in the motion of continuation of trend. Do we have any upside targets here? Yeah, next major area of interest to the upside is going to be about 315 to 320. Yeah, 315 to 320-ish region. Okay, Jesus, man. What in the fuck? Steve Bradley says EWT, USD, derp coin. Fucking EWT. USD. Okay, gotcha. Midterm, please. All right, I'm going to go with a 12 hour for that. Okay, this one. Again! Look, man, I can't make any more history than there's already existing here. There's no medium term on something that's been around for about a month. You look at like a 4 hour. Look, it probably goes up from here. If I had to call it, this thing probably goes up to like $20. Do I trust technical analysis on something that's been around this long? No, I don't. But yeah, short term very likely does go up. 4 hour TSI is the only thing kind of giving me a bit of a bias boner right there. Jeremy Brown, hello, sir. Stock flow says 288k. Does it say 288k this year, sir? You do know that Plan B has actually come out and said that the high of this cycle is probably $94,000. So I would check your sources, sir. It's like that's the problem with putting out like really high consciousness information. People will just they'll just zero in on what they want to see. And it's not, it probably sounds like I'm just being a fucking dickhead to you, Mr. Jeremy Brown. That's not my intention. At some point, yeah, stock flow does have $288,000 in the sites, but look, you got to represent it in the way that in the way that it's meant to be represented, because I think that that's going to like cheapen the message of something that is actually working pretty damn well thus far. I guess you've never owned a telescope. You should try looking through one sometime. No fucking way, man. My tinfoil hat says that that's all fucking bullshit. The government has implanted telescopes into your brain in order to make you think that the earth is actually not flat. So fuck you and your goddamn telescopes, caretaker. I don't buy it for a second. Savvy says it's going to 7,000. I don't know who Savvy is, but I would implore him to trade with that in mind. And good luck, sir. And good fucking luck. How about that? You can always, look, man, people say crazy shit all the time, man. I say crazy shit all the time too. But that sounds to me like someone is, it sounds to me like someone's either fucking, well, I would like to hear his reasoning first. Although, is he like a crypto guy or like an analyst? Does he have any good history, track record or history, or anything like that? I don't know. Dominic Suspensky, hopefully I'm getting that one right. Sounds very Polish, I think. Matic Ethereum daily. Why versus Ethereum? You don't need to trade two illiquid shitcoins versus each other, man. You can do it versus Bitcoin. Down. Probably back down to like 15,800-ish region. Probably tries to bounce there. But look, I mean, it's a long-term uptrend, yeah, but short-term down. Short-term down. Daily, weekly is probably more. Probably does try a higher low here, but I don't trust it that much. Gringenstein says, can you do Algo USD? Like do it? Like do it? Sure. Algo USD. We'll go to Binance for this one, and you're looking at a daily. Weekly is up. Daily's looking like it wants to follow through with Bitcoin. Maybe a short-term move to the downside, like 140. I'd look at that as an opportunity. Daily, however, I would ultimately be looking for it to move back up. So sideways and up is the name of the game. 175 area is what I'd be looking towards. Okay, all right. All right, there we go. Anthony RC, hello, sir. Hello, Krown, bruh. Hello, Anthony RC, bruh. Where do you get a test count to trade without real money? Just type in testnet.deribit, or sorry, it's test.deribit.com, or just, Google. Google is your friend. Just type in like testnet deribit on Google, and it should bring it up. Anthony says, banned USD Binance, please. Sure, man. No base pairing included as always, but fair enough. Fair enough, man. It's your money. Then again, I ain't trading for you. This one's bullish as fuck right here. I'd be looking for new all-time highs on this one. Extremely likely new all-time highs out of an area of interest. Short term at around $22. Long term would be like $28. Looks pretty good there. Well, it looks pretty good there. Oh, you, Mr. Nimbo. A triangle walks into a bar and says to the bartender, I need a stiff drink. I just had an argument with a 90-degree angle. Turns out he was right. That motherfucker. I hate that Pythagoras guy. Him and his damn mathematics and triangles. I fucking hate that shit. How dare you suggest that geometry is real? Nick says, can you look at VET USD, please? Sure, man. All right, VET USD. Here we go. What time frame, though, sir? Well, daily looks bullish as fuck. Weekly looks bullish as fuck. I'm inclined to say that it's bullish as fuck. In fact, it looks like it's even hidden my deepest fib target here. Hey, look. Those damn fibs! They're at it again! What the fuck, man? 18.5 cent or 1885. I'd say that I'd be looking for a pullback off this area right here. It's nearly there. I'd be looking for a bit of a pullback off that region. Long term though, do I think that this one continues to rally? Probably yes. I mean the weekly's looking pretty good here. But probably short-term pullback off there and then check it out afterwards. Hey, what's up, Bitbird? There he is, our lovely timestamps. I thought it said Batmart, but there was a little smudge on my computer screen. What's up, Batman? Good to see you, man. Can we get BNB USD and BNB BTC? I think I'm gonna look at BNB USD. I think that's just a little bit more of an interesting chart. Anytime you choose time frame, okay. In that case, weekly does look a little bit toppy there for what we have. Does daily look toppy? No, daily looks like continuation similar to Bitcoin. Could easily trade back down to like 480, 490, and I'll be looking for a bounce there. I don't even have really, or do we even have any targets to give on this one? Let's see. Yeah, actually, 680 would still be a big one. I would be expecting a greater pullback from that region. So does it continue up first and foremost? It looks like it's setting in a base right here already. So probably yes, in line with the rest of the market. But I would be looking for pullbacks somewhere around like 680-ish region. Okay. All right, cool. Osman Toplica says, can you check out ENJ BTC dildos? All right, let's check it out. No time frame. ENJ, oh no, BTC. Gotcha. Okay. Binance, and we got some dildos over here. Yes, indeed. We got some dildos, sir. This one, let's go to a weekly for a second. Weekly I really like, but this is a pump and dump chart. I really like it for the short term on the weekly, but this is literally a pump and dump chart. I don't like that at all. What does it look like on a daily? I favor it as long as it follows the higher lows, man. That's 4,000 Satoshis right there. As long as that condition's met, I generally favor a retest of, 6,000 Satoshis and beyond. Weekly says another try to the upside first. But again, I really struggle with this one, to be honest with you, just because this is a fucking pump and dump chart, man. If I ever saw one, this one, there's very little difference between this chart and like Ripple chart versus Bitcoin, right? Well, actually, there's a big difference. To be fair, shouldn't put you in that category, but I do favor another try to the upside. I would be very, 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 very quick to switch though on this one. Even if the daily reverses its trend again below about 4,000 Satoshis there. Where is Omar? That damn Omar? Where has he gone? You're not allowed to leave, Omar. You belong here. You belong to the cave now. It's like you can own a person. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's called slavery, actually. Slavery is pretty fucking illegal. and it also doesn't feel like no one enjoys that. Jesus Christ, like being told to do. Benny B says, brother, can you please do CCIV? It's an S-Pack. Sure, man. All right, CCV. Okay, you're talking about this right here. No opinion. No opinion, man. It looks to me like it's creating a descending triangle after going parabolic and blowing off its top. I'd be looking for a few more bounces off this region right here, 21.5 or so. And I think that it very likely will bounce from this region, probably even back up to like $24, short, medium term. Long term, though, I'm more inclined to say that this one's probably producing like a long-term top here, actually. But I think, it's kind of similar to Bitcoin in 2018, right? You do something like this, with a series of lower highs and then break down over time and just really bore the shit out of people. But right now, it probably has a few more bounces off this area at about 21 and a quarter, 21 even actually. And it can bounce, quite significantly all the way up to 27 and still kind of maintain that downtrend. But as long as below there, I'd be long-term bearish on it actually. Okay. Alrighty. What else did I miss here? I think I got, wait, we almost there? Are we almost there? I think we're almost there, actually. Jean Del Rubio says, can you check out Theta, please? Sure, but no base pairing, no time frame. I'm just going to go with USD and then a daily. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's not what you want. I'm not certain. I'm not sure, but I think, no matter what time frame I look at right here, it's probably going to be good. Motherfucker, I forgot to press shift on that one. Fucking bastard. I do favor this one. General uptrend. Been one of the better actors, especially for like the last like half year to a year. I mean, it's hard to hate this chart. This one's actually looking very similar to Link in a lot of ways. I'd be looking for this one to ultimately pull up to new all-time highs, as long as it maintains its higher low structure above about 11 and a quarter. I'd be looking for this one short term to probably give another move back up to like 13 and a half. Well, maybe not short term, but like medium term. If I go down to like short term time frames, I'd be looking for sideways. I think that this one's just within a range right now. Ultimately, though, very likely does pull through to the upside. I would get bearish below here, below 11 and a quarter, and I'd be looking for moves back down to about $9, maybe even more. But for now, I favor the upside here. So probably spend some time going sideways within this range and then breaks the upside. If I had to guess, again, the underlying market dynamics are taking over right here. Okay. Joey Leclerc says, can you look at Frontier, please, sir? Can you give me a symbol? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be looking at the same thing. Like Frontier Airlines? That one fucking sucks. Maybe it's this. I don't know. Maybe it's this bullshit because we are within the context of a crypto stream. Oh, okay. We'll look at this for a second. Again, it would be massively helpful more for yourself to give like a base pairing in time frame, just so I can have some direction here. But this one to me looks like it's putting a higher low on the weekly, pretty damn powerful. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up to like 382. Short term probably comes down a little bit more, 255 I'd be looking for, but I would be looking for bounce around there. Long term does continue to the upside. I'd be looking for. Holy moly, man. I was just about to finish this one and then too many chats came in. Fishing with Donnie says, Phil USD, 1 to 4 hour. Okay, Phil USD. All right. Let's go Binance. Is the volume there to test the pump? Well, yeah, there's not a whole hell of a lot of history here. Look, it's not that the volume's here, man. This one's consolidating right now, so you don't expect to see like a massive volume pop. But I do think that it has some short-term upside, like 186, 190-ish region, very, very likely. And I do like this chart for the information that we do have right now. And yes, I do favor short-term, medium-term upside. Aliens Immigrants 88 says, Uni USD daily and 4 hour. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. Uni USD. Okay, 4 hour specifically. We'll go to Binance for this one. Uppity up. Looking good. Continuation on the daily as well. I'd still keep an short-term eye. Actually, this one's almost hit it there. $40.5 would be my short-term target, but only short-term. Long-term, it looks like mid-50s is actually what I'd be looking towards. Long-term, that is, again. Flavio Amorel says, hard dollar. Hard dollar. Have you heard of hard candy? I think you're looking at this one right here. Let's see. Again, we have yet again another uptrend. This is crazy. An uptrend within the cryptocurrency space. It's almost as if all charts look and operate as each other. We have another ascending triangle. This one probably trades a little bit sideways within here, but I do think that a resolution is in order relatively soon. Now, here's the thing. I would be happy to be bullish on this one on all time frames, as long as it does not take out the last higher low at about 180. The second that it goes below 180 is the second that I get very bearish on this one, looking for moves back down to like 110 or even $1. But for now, I do favor the upside. Probably does break to the upside here, and we could make a measure move on this one. Probably going to be up to your $4 region. I would imagine. Just doing some bad visualization here. No, a little bit below there, about 365 region. Where I'd be looking towards. Serperator retracted his message, but why? Why have you done such things? Why have you done this? All good though. Crypto Psycho says, what does Crypto Psycho say? Meant to ask for weekly WNT. Do you foresee green dildos long term? WMT, Walmart. Okay, weekly specifically. Do I foresee green dildos long term? Yeah, very good chart. Oh yeah, man. This one only knows green dildos. You know how like most cryptos only go down? This one only goes up. Very powerful chart. Very, very powerful chart. Monthly is looking good. I do think that it's going through a little bit of a sideways range here between about 128 and that current level about 145 that we spoke about earlier, I think it was. Long term, do I think it continues the upside? Yes. There's no reason to be looking for a reversal here because this thing almost never really has. This is a fucking powerful chart, man. Going all the way back to 1972, by the way. Let's see, what did it do in 87 during that crash? Wow, Walmart was rallying even during the 87 crash. Now, it did have a pretty bad month there, but just continued with trend. What about 2008, 2009? Let's see where that was. How did this one act? No, pretty much no effect. Powerful Walmart. Bullish as fuck. Long term. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Ronald Hood says, FTT, USD, opinion on FTX market cap versus Coinbase's. Opinion on it? Do I think that FTT or FTX can head up to Coinbase's numbers? No, it's not. I mean, it's not a fucking fiat exchange. Kind of a different dynamic going on there. I do think that FTX is probably worth a shit ton, but Coinbase has a lot of things going for them. But fair enough. I mean, FTX is also a lot younger too. It only has a couple of years of operation. Coinbase has six or seven now, something like that. Anyways, looking at this again, I'd be bullish on this. Crazy. It's another crypto chart that I'm bullish on. Let's see. What do we have here? Looks like we already kind of hit that 61.5 target. Getting that first pullback there. I would actually be looking for this one to head up to the deeper 60s, like 68 to maybe even 69. Looking good there. Looking good, sirs. Okay, I think that is just about it. And this is actually a perfect place for me to end off because I do need to prepare for a few other things in the not so distant future. I'd like to get a nice little workout in as well. I won't do a wrap up today, mostly because I do want to save a little bit more of my voice, but I do want to wish you a happy and healthy rest of your Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Have a happy Thursday in your life. We'll be back on tomorrow. Later start tomorrow. We'll be doing it in the American morning, late afternoon for us Europeans over here. I've adopted being a European, but I do want to wish you well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really fucking fun having these conversations, and I just really like the way the community's kind of been coming along. We got one more. Frank Ignols. Oh, my fucking man. Good to see you. I see Philson over there as well. I see Justo. How you guys doing? Van Gogh, Jack Frost, Pedro. All right, fellas. It's been an absolute pleasure, Mr. Jev. Take care. I'll see you soon, and